Hello everyone, and welcome to the Introduction to Business section of the 360 Mentoring Program. During today's presentation, we're going to go through a bit of background and introduction, so we'll speak about the existing business landscape, and then I'll tell you a bit more about exactly what Start Smart is. We'll then move on to some basic principles about business, so we'll talk about some concepts, and then talk about how you, as a future entrepreneur, can begin to plan for the future. So the background and introduction section. So just to give you a bit of a general overview, businesses in Africa, by and large, are classified as small and medium-sized enterprises. So the kiosks that might be in your neighborhood near your house, or other types of tabletop businesses, the various markets that you may go to, and even some of the shops. The majority of them are classified as small and medium-sized enterprises. And this classification is usually based on how many people are employed by the business and how much money they make. So, despite the fact that these businesses have such a strong place in African economies, their growth is severely limited. And one of the reasons for this is the fact that there's a lack of access to credit. So when we say credit, this is money that's available to businesses that may be apart from whatever savings they may already have access to. So for example, loans, grants, or having somebody come in and make an investment in the company. So being able to access this credit is a bit more of a complicated process. You need to be able to prove to those who you're getting the credit from. So if it's loans, it would be the banks. Grants, it might be some form of institution. And investments, it might again be an individual or an institution. You need to be able to prove to these people that your idea is actually a good one, that you'll be able to be successful with it. And the only way that you can do this if you've already started a business is to show them the financial records that you already have, to show that you are responsible with your business, that you are capable of making good choices as to where the business should go, and more importantly, that there is the opportunity for the business to go further once you have received that funding from them. So the problem, though, is that many of these small and medium-sized businesses are unable to keep the records. And there are a number of reasons why they don't keep these records, but the main ones appear to be the fact that some of them don't have a clear understanding of what is required of them in the process of bookkeeping. Another is that they don't recognize the value of it, and they don't have many incentives. So if you look at Western countries, for example, businesses have an incentive to keep accurate financial records because they pay taxes based on the financial records that they keep. Unfortunately, in many parts of Africa, taxes are not strictly enforced. So people really don't have an incentive to keep these records because nobody's going to be looking into their books to see if they are in fact telling the truth. And then another thing is that some of the tools and resources available are just too expensive or difficult to understand. So there are tools, accounting software like QuickBooks, or even getting the services of an accountant might just be beyond what these businesses can afford. So before we move further, I wanted to pause and let you guys have a chance to do a bit of reflection and have a bit of a discussion with one another. So the questions I want you guys to focus on for the next 10 to 15 minutes are, do you have friends or relatives that own their own business? How many of them do you believe maintain accurate financial records? The second question is, have you ever helped a friend or family run their business? What role did you play? The third, are poor financial records the biggest challenge faced by small businesses in Africa? Why or why not? And the fourth question, what do you believe is the most effective way to manage financial records for a business? So take some time, break out into smaller groups, discuss these questions for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then come back and we can continue.